Okay, we're going to call the Finance Committee meeting to order. Present are council members Floyd, Frazier, Cost, Bub, and Marmee. First item on the agenda is ordinance number 16-48 to make appropriations for the expenditures of the City of Newark, Ohio during the year ending December 31st, 2017. This is a grant budget.
Yeah.
Yes. We've got, I guess, the grant budget here. I think we've probably answered a lot of questions through the week to everybody, and certainly if you have anything, Mark or I are here to answer them for you. If there's anything there.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Bub, second by Floyd. Any questions or discussion on the grant portion of the budget? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion passes 5-0. Next is ordinance 16-49, and this is the all other budget.
Same thing here, and it's basically everything that doesn't fall under grants or general fund, and certainly a fair amount of that's projects from the engineering office or the water department. So if anybody has any questions, Roger's also here, and we certainly can answer any of those if you have any.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Bub, second by Frazier. Questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion passes 5-0. Next item is ordinance 16-50. This is dealing with the general fund budget.
Again, what we've done, we do have, of course, each of these, we want to call them budgets balanced, and the general fund is balanced. This year we were fortunate enough not have to dip into rainy day fund, and I think that surely was a positive in a good direction. It is, as presented, contingent upon the next piece of legislation, which is a split back to 86-14. It was 90-10 this past year, so that's a little bit of a gain too, in a good direction. So again, we've answered several questions for people through the week. If anybody has any questions, we're happy to answer those.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Floyd, second by Bub. I just want to comment because this is where I had the most questions, and I just want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, and everybody who was able to get me responses very quickly and very thorough. I know there's a lot of working behind the scenes and changes that happen. I can't always see what was spent last year, and
right.
So it does help there. There wasn't anything that really stood out as being anything that was alarming. It is a very tight budget. Something that there's not a whole lot of wiggle room. I'm sure there's still going to be things that are going to come up throughout the year that we're going to have to make some additional decisions on. However, I do really like the fact that we did not have to dip into that rainy day fund, the budget stabilization fund, and also we can keep capital improvements at a level where we can do more street paving, and that's greatly appreciated. And really, I had all my questions answered prior to the meeting. I think I had a whole page full of them that everybody responded back to, so I do appreciate that.
Well, and I might just comment, we appreciate that too. It's a complicated piece. This is no simple thing, any one of the budgets. Grants is a little more detailed according to the grants we have and what we're going to spend for 17. The all other has some similar shape to that, but the general fund takes a lot more eyes to look at it. And we surely want to thank the auditor's department and Steve and his team and Lori and everybody and Jackie and everybody has a hand in this. The directors, clear down to all the departments. When we come in, we really, goal was to educate these departments about the finances so that they understood how to be efficient, but also be a real part of making the budget each year. So the right place to get those answers is sometimes through us, but down to that department level to give answers, because they're the ones that tell us what they need to get their jobs done, and then we work with them very closely. While we keep very close on everything, it would be silly to think any one of us at the administration could sit and do all the jobs in this city. So it takes everyone to do that, and understanding the budget just makes them understand the importance for efficiency even more. And Mr. Chairman, I think you commented, it is a tight budget. So while we stayed out of budget stabilization and we were able to give a couple more percent, 4 more percent into the CI budget, there's not a big leftover. GFOA, Government Finance Officers Association, recommend we have several million carryover, and we don't have that. So it's still very tight. There's still a need for additional revenues in the city, and we're still going to work very hard to try to deliver the best services at the most efficient cost.
Very good.
I have a question.
Yes, Mr.
The rainy day fund balance, what are we starting the year out with?
Steve, you know that at all? I'm not sure. We can get that back to you.
I don't know exactly, but I'm going to say $200,000.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's right in there.
Yeah, I thought that's what, it was right around there because
Right.
we were supposed to end up with approximately somewhere between 180 and 200,000. And I think we ended up maybe a little bit more.
Right.
So, any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, that motion passes 5-0. And then finally, ordinance 16-51, amending section 890.13 of the codified ordinances of the city of Newark, providing for the allocation of income tax revenue, and this will be declared an emergency. And this is, like the mayor said, changing it from the actually, I believe it's actually changed it from the 8515 to the 8614.
Technically, we went back about 12 or 13 years, and the majority of the years it was 8614.
Right.
More recent, a couple years, 8515, and then of course, in our last 2 years, plus a couple previous years, it was 9010 to supplement the general fund operating budget at times. But 8614 was the kind of the historic traditional, and that 1% did help balance the budget. It was very important.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Floyd, second by Bub. And questions or discussion? Now, one thing that I will comment on this, and this is, at the discretion of this council, it is actually set in stone. The permanent number was 8515. This will change the permanent number to be 8614 now. It's not just a 1 year like we've been doing with the 9010. And I feel comfortable with it because I feel like if we ever did have additional funds that we can put towards capital improvements, I'd gladly vote for it, and I think members of council will. So, but just a full disclosure and make sure that everybody knows what we're doing here. It is not just a 1 year thing, it's a permanent. Okay? All right, any other further questions or discussion on this one? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion also passes 5-0. And with that, the Finance Committee meeting stands adjourned. And is there a particular time you want to say we're starting, or?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, we'll start the full council meeting.